What I'm talking about, there is a priority. It's a question of a priority now. The more troublesome the world looks, the more you have to go inside to find out where the world comes from and the one who sees it. You have to do it, see. Okay, this says, Dear Mooji, can you help me to understand Advaita and the evil? New movie? Why does evil exist? Without evil, good would be boring. Evil makes good more glamorous. Evil makes good more glamorous. Okay. But what about the kind of evil that enjoys torturing a child? For example, how can the suffering of one person be the pleasure of another one? Is told that the world is the god's toy, or Leela, the play. But what a strange toy it is. Diana. Diana is goddess of hunting, isn't it? So Diana must become Dhyana, goddess of meditation, and meditate on this question, you see, and you will find out. Because this world of cruelty and suffering is to do with when we have really forgotten our true nature and have slipped so deeply. For some people, it cannot be put, I cannot write an accurate map of existence. And yet somehow when you come to recognize the truth inside your heart, so many things you cannot explain them becomes immediately clear for you. If I try to speak about it, then perhaps mind becomes more noisy and says, yes, what about this and what about this? But if it happens through your own insight, then something is very quiet about this world, even when seen through the eyes of a liberated mind. It has a different, something else is going on from what you think you see, actually. Delusion is producing all of this evil. And to say as God created the evil, it's not quite, it's a naive way of putting it. You can say ultimately these contrasts, they have their source in the Supreme. All this that manifests. The full dance of the interrelated opposites has to be released to be what the play it must be. You cannot have only one side of the manifestation. This interrelated opposite is there. But I used to try and tackle this type of question and try on, yes, well, it's because of this. And so now I say, you know what? When you come to this type of feeling, this type of question, and these type of things, no, sometimes nobody can answer you. Nobody can answer you because you're so vexed sometimes with the world. No one can answer you just by concepts and satisfy you. You have to come to satsang and find out who you are. Don't hold on to these questions, because the mind can hold on to this question and it will say, no, until you satisfy this, I don't believe that, I don't even want to be real, I don't want to be true, if it means that then I am seeing this is not true. Huh? There are some people say, maybe in finding out this truth that you're talking about is just becoming blind to this. And I said, you don't even understand the mystery of this universe. You don't understand the mystery of this universe to speak like that. A human being's highest opportunity is to recognize the truth of yourself. One who is liberated the energy and power emanating out of that presence is doing a lot more good than you think even. But you want to see, yes, but where does that go? You know, where does your penny go? Where does your pound go? But this is an obsession of the mind. The very mind that you see causing trouble is the very mind you are becoming. And we don't see. And such is the subtlety of this illusion, that we fall into delusion. You don't know it. You think that you got bright, clear eyes, but you are sleep walking, sleep talking, sleep acting, sleep thinking. You see. So I don't want to go and say, yes, but you know this, and because there are so many different things people will tell you about this. I rather take you to the river itself. Dip your head into this place and look again. And I'll dip your head again and say, look again. And dip your head, hold your head under the water. And look again. If you throw a empty bottle in the water, it will make some noise. Gluk, 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 gluk. When it's full, it becomes very quiet, and it will sink to the bottom. Someone said that the mind is like a shallow stream of water with mud very close to the surface. If you want clear water, you have to skim very lightly to sip. If you dig in, everything becomes muddy. Go to the source, find out the truth of who you are. Clean your eyes, Christ says. Remove the dirt from your own eyes, and then you will have enough clarity to remove the dirt from someone else's eyes. What I'm talking about, there is a priority. It's a question of a priority now. The more troublesome the world looks, the more you have to go inside to find out where the world comes from and the one who sees it. You have to do it, see. Don't let these type of questions keep you out into the wilderness, looking for someone who can answer you conceptually to satisfy your mind. It will not happen. This is why I say Diana must become Dhyana. She has to contemplate this thing. And I will help you. Come and we can talk about it. But there has to be a willingness to take this question off the front burner, because these questions are not taking you to freedom. There are better questions that will take you to freedom than this. Sometimes when you come to this question, you're holding on to this question, keeps you very angry. When you're angry, you cannot investigate. Nobody's going to satisfy you. So there must be a willingness to say, you know what, let me suspend this for a moment so that I can really begin to look in the way that you say and see what I find. This thing you must do. Because I've sat with people who have so many questions like this, and it appears as though they are seeking the truth, but actually they are not. They're just frustrated and angry and bitter and get caught in this question. Many, not all. Some, when they want to go beyond this question, a new openness is present with them as well. They want to go beyond this question. Then I'm not saying I want you to throw away this question. I say leave it aside for now. Come back to it later. Let's look at this first. And so that you come to answer this question for yourself, you don't have to accept my answers. You're asking me questions, but I want to take you to the very fountain of questions and answers, so that you don't have to ask anybody anymore. You will know inside your own being. Then you can argue with yourself if you want. Because it's not that one who sees does not see cruelty. You do see cruelty. You see the outcome of the deluded mind. You see it. This is why you're here also. The energy that you discover here in yourself is already supplying great spiritual oxygen in this world. What you're imbibing here, you take back to wherever you go. You are supplying spiritual oxygen to your neighborhood, to your towns, just by being who you are, without any pride. To be true. And don't be afraid. Nobody can overpower you. Nobody can overpower you. Just stick to truth. Don't try and make no strategy about life. You don't have to strategize. The whole world is strategizing. And they're out of sync with their own being. Such is the mind, you know. You remain firm in the truth you're discovering. Again and again, be faithful to yourself. Honor your own fidelity to the truth. And everything else you can say, leave to God, leave to the universe. You'll see with your own eyes. So. We come to sometime places like this, you see some things that may touch your heart very deeply. And if you're touched by them, you will express what you can. You'll help in your way. But don't lose sight of why you're here. Help with one hand, but keep your full being in your satsang. If you feel drawn like that. This is your priority. Okay, thank you. Just stick to truth. Don't try and make no strategy about life. You don't have to strategize. The whole world is strategizing. And they're out of sync with their own being. Such is the mind, you know.